Okay, so we talked about linear equations yesterday. Linear just means if you graph it, it makes a line, nothing fancy. Y equals mx plus b is kind of how we start for all of these equations. We do it this way because when you see y equals mx plus b, it's giving it to you in a very nice, clean format. And every piece is predictable. So when we look at this, m is our rate of change. It is also, it's the same thing as the constant. It's the same thing as slope. All of these are the rate of change. B is our y-intercept. We can call it the beginning. And that'll make more sense at the end of this week, beginning of next week, when we start talking about word problems and how those work into equations. If the rate of change is positive, then m is positive, and the line goes up on the graph. And in a table, they're both both the x and the y are going up or down together. If the rate of change is negative, I keep doing that. M is negative. And the line goes down. And we talked about how to do this with your hand yesterday. If it's going up, with your left hand is pointing up, then it's positive. If your left hand is pointing down, it's negative. The y-intercept, we said, is where the line crosses the y. It can be positive or negative. So, number 1 says, which of the following represents the linear relationship shown on the graph? So, we're going to take our highlighter and you are going to highlight the y-axis. That is important. Now you can pick the y-intercept. So if we were going to write an equation for this, if we were going to write an equation for this, B would be right here, -1. So when you go to match equations to graphs, B is -1. Now, we're not doing that to a graph. We're not going graph to equations. We're matching the table. So we're going to pick spots on the table and see if they're on our graph. So let's start with this one right here. We've got -10, -10. So x is -10. Our ordered pair looks like this: -10, -10, x and y. So you start at 0 and you go -10, and then from there you're going to go down -10. Is that point right here, -10, -10, Is that on our line? It's really close, but it's not quite. So A cannot be our answer. Now we're going to do the same thing with B. Let's pick a positive, 3, 5. So 3, 5. We're going to start at 0 again. And we're going to go a positive 3. 1, 2, 3. And then we're going to go a positive 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Is that spot on our line? It is not. So B is not your answer. See, this isn't so bad, right? Oops. Let's look at C. We can do another positive if you want. We have 2, 6, so we're going to start at 0, 0. We're going to go over 2, 1, 2. And then we're going to go up 6 because it's a positive 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Is that spot on our line? So now the only one left is D. So we certainly hope that D is going to work out for us. So let's start with the easy. Let's do 5, 3. So we're going to start. We've got 5, 3, X, Y. Positive 5. So we start at 0. We're going to go positive 5. And then we're going to go positive 3. 1, 2, 3. Is that spot on our line? It is. So far, so good. So that one checks out. Let's do 0, negative 1. So that is 0, negative 1. So we're going to start at 0 and we're going to stay at 0 because it says 0. Then we're going to go negative 1, so we're going down 1. Is that spot on our line? Yes. So now let's do negative 5, negative 5. So we're going to start at 0 again. We're going to go negative 5, so we're going backwards. And then we're going to go negative 5 again, so we're going down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Is that spot on our line? Good. We got one more to check. Negative 10, negative 9. So starting at 0 again. I'm going to go negative 10. And then I'm going to go negative 9. So I'm going down 9. Is that spot on our line? Yes. So now you've got a little area where you are going to kind of explain to yourself, how do we match a table to a graph? So usually the best way to start your answer is to rephrase the question. How do we match a table to the graph? We match the table to by, and then you're going to go ahead and finish. Tell me what you did to solve the problem above.